shows the foundations of each team and the connection that they have with the fans. I mean, it started back in 2022, and go to BC Basketball Champions League YouTube page and watch Humans of the BCL this week featuring Alba Berlin. Great job done by the Basketball Champions League digital team and creative work. I imagine we're going to see Norzak Bakoko as the starting foundation center tonight, so he's going to have a very big job to go up against Oleg Balsarovsky. Plus, they have a talented team, young players such as Jack Kyle, also the additions of Jonas Matisek, not to mention Martin Hermansen, the Icelandic international. Well, Alex O'Connell had some good moments. Sam Griesel was formerly of Telecom Basketball, joining them in the 2023-24 campaign, falling short of making the Final Four that year, only to lose out to Peristeri. Well, there's the rising star of Jack Kyle. Well, no doubt they would have looked back on the defeat against Unicaja last week and thought, we didn't have a great night from the three-point line, but if it happens again, we must find other ways to score. Just saw Juwan Robertson, now Martin Hermansen coming out to the lineup, so I would imagine Martin Hermansen's going to be the primary point guard this evening. Well, Bennett Hunt, Justin Bean, the final players yet to come out, and there is Bennett Hunt. We just saw Neville Benefeld. This Alba Berlin team, tonight here at home, they've got to use the advantage, the home crowd, the energy, to push this to a third and final decisive game. Both coaches shaking hands with each other, paying each other homage, both of the same nationality, but I would imagine tonight it's going to be a basketball battle. One team, in the case of the two-time defending champions, know a win would take them yet again to another Final Four in quest for a BCL three-peat. While the debutantes, the freshmen, the newcomers in Alba Berlin, they have their expectations. But let's introduce our three referees for tonight's game. Well, our three referees are coming from Latvia, Lithuania, and, well, from, that's actually correct there, from Estonia, Mikhail Maniste, Kavidas Gedvilas, Martin Kovlovskis. Well, time to take a look at the starting five, and I think we're going to have Jonathan Barrero, Tyler Kalinowski, Oleg Balsarovsky, along with Killian Tilly and Kendrick Perry, all in the starting five tonight for Coach Ivan Navarro. That also gives him the option of Justin Cobbs and Alberto Diaz as backcourt players. The perimeter shooting and the three-stretch four-roll from James Webb will give them a lot of depth. Ivan Navarro knows it's becoming tougher and tougher to defend what you've already achieved. And no team has ever won a three-peat in 10 seasons of the BCL, this being season number 10. Powered by Amoresco Sinel. While for Alba Berlin, Martin Hermansen, the primary point guard, Jonas Matisek, and Sam Griesel will make up the backcourt with the three-stretch forward of Justin Bean, while center Norzak Bakoko, who only got things going in the third quarter on the road in Malaga. Juwan Roberts will be in the mix-up tonight, coming off the bench, as well as Maltadello and Alex O'Connell. So head coach Pedro Calles also has a lot of options he can counter with. Well, indeed, it's now or never. Last two BCL games, 0-2. Prior to that, they were 9-2 in the previous 11. Best second half difference in the BCL, plus 6.2. Well, in the case of Unicaja, the previous 9 games in the BCL, their record has been 7-2. Best first half difference in the BCL, plus 9 points per game. I think we saw a little bit of that in game 1 already here in this quarterfinal matchup. And you know, if you love your history of European basketball, both Alba Berlin and Unicaja, they've met each other many times over the last 2 decades, but never at the magnitude of the highest order of the Basketball Champions League. And Alba Berlin, well, they just want what Unicaja has. They want the title. They want to get to the Final Four, reap the benefits, qualify for the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. But Unicaja not willing to give away what they've achieved yet. Well, fans, if you are planning your tickets to go to Badalona, use that QR code and buy your Final Four tickets for the 2026 Basketball Champions League Final Four. Badalona already. The Ritas Vilnius fans have probably used that QR code. The question is tonight, will Unicaja fans use it, or will Alba Berlin fans be able to use it in just over a week's time if they push this to a third and final decider? Well, Sam Griesel there, you can see just joining Telekom Basketball after they won the BCL championship. Now tonight, he's got to lead his team to victory to try and taste what his former club once tasted prior to him getting there. Well, Kendrick Perry now in game mode. And if there's ever a point guard who's more exciting, more electric, more exhilarating, the showcase he puts on tonight would be the night to kind of seal the deal and get them back to yet again another Final Four. Kenel Tilly has been a great addition so far here for Iban Navarro. Welcome everybody. BCL quarterfinal game 2 live here in Berlin, and it's powered by Amoresco Sunel. It's going to be Unicaja with the first possession. Justin Bean trying to put some pressure up against Kenel Tilly. It's now the matchup for Jonas Matisek against Kendrick Perry. A bit of space here for Kalinowski, just hitting the front iron. Unicaja battling for offensive boards, and a foul is going to be called. Well, that's going to be on Jonathan Barrero is going to go to the free throw line. It's a bit of a worrying sign already here for Alba Berlin, giving away an offensive rebound on what they kind of gave an open three-pointer to Tyler Kalinowski. So Barrero currently at the charity stripe. Well, as I said in the pregame, the last time they lost in the quarterfinals was back in 2022 against Baxi Manresa, and that was twice. And he was top scorer in both games for Unicaja back then. 81% free throw shooter this season in the BCL, Jonathan Barrero. I feel like an early three-point is going to set the confidence very high here for Alba Berlin. That goes out of bounds. Griesel lets it go. That's going to remain possession to Alba Berlin. Alba Berlin, interesting enough, committed 17 turnovers in that defeat against Unicaja. They cannot afford early on is to replicate that same misery. Akbakoku in the paint, goes in, gets rejected. Oh, Balsarovsky coming for the block. Now here comes Unicaja. A good recovery on defense. Hermanson comes up with it. A foul is going to be called against Oleg Balsarovsky. Well, that's a good foul if you ask me. Balsarovsky just trying to slow down the transition. It's a genuine attempt for the ball. That's a good play, but it is a foul. This is not often Balsarovsky does become the primary option for Unicaja, but even last week, I mean, where he had his success was setting those high ball screens, but also coming up with second chance opportunity points. Weasel inside the paint, a lot of contact. Well, the back screen came away from the ball at 45 degrees, and nobody from Unicaja bumped or switched. Sam Griesel was just way too wide open. Some very simple action there from Alba Berlin, and you would expect a team like Unicaja to have that primary option covered. I can't imagine Pedro Caias' team are going to get that option too often tonight, but credit to them. Three-point play converted by Sam Griesel. Akbakoku just putting a bit of pressure full court against Oleg Balsarovsky. Alba Berlin riding off the momentum. The energy they're getting from the sellout crowd tonight here in Berlin. The humans of the BCL's returned, and it's returned in the shape of Alba. Kendrick Perry now calling for space, and here's that high screen again with Balsarovsky. Kenel Tilly fires the three. This one's up. Akbakoku just trying to crash. It goes out of bounds. That's going to go back to Alba Berlin. because Alba will want to build as big a lead as possible. Try to set a lot of daylight between them and Unicaja. Riza. And there's an early three, goes flying, just a little too short from Hermanson. That's a good look for him, but he's got to find that consistency. Kalinowski caught a double team, but a foul is going to be called. That foul is on Jonas Matisek. Well, it's only the second team foul against Alba. It's a quick rush on the ball handlers. And it's not a bad foul to give away early on because it just sets a bit of a temperature for Unicaja's offense. A little bit of psychological games coming from Alba Berlin. Kalinowski patiently waiting. The time is now expiring. Oh, finds Oleg Balsarovsky. Now, did he get it off in time? No, I don't think he did. 24-second violation called against Unicaja. I think Kalinowski should have taken that himself, given that he was under immense pressure, but it's either a 24 or a charge. Either way, Alba Berlin will take the possession. Well, checking into the game, Emir Sulemanovic. This is going to go slightly smaller with him as the natural center. The thing about him is he'll be able to draw Akbakoko away from the perimeter. Kriza. Balsarovsky, you can just see in the 2 minutes, 2 fouls, 1 turnover. Well, likes to go himself, and what a move by Matt Hermanson. Straight to the bucket. It's one thing he doesn't lack, confidence getting right to the rack. Now Kenyal Tilly hesitates, but finds himself in the paint, and goes right himself from his own half. Every player on the floor at the moment can put the ball on the ground for Unicaja. Akbakoko. That's good switch defense, and Kalinowski did very well there to put him under pressure. Because you compare the legacy of what these two teams have to live up for. If anything, Unicaja has been a part of the legacy of the Spanish BCL teams, but here's another take by Hermanson. They need more of that from him tonight. But going back to what I was saying, there's only ever been one German champion from the Easy Credit Bundesliga in the Basketball Champions League. And that was Telekom Basketball. The only other team who came close would have been MRP Riesen-Ludwigsburg, who went to 2 Final Fours. This German basketball definitely on the rise. Well, it's unfair to say it's on the rise. It's now in its golden age. It's always been great basketball, but most recently the men's defending FIBA Basketball World Cup and Eurobasket champions. And how fitting would it be to find Alba Berlin as the second German BCL champion in 10 seasons? But to do that, they've got to win tonight. They've got to send this to a Game 3. Well, Chris Duarte, along with Alberto Diaz, checking into the lineup. 6:52 to go here in the first quarter. He is getting that high screen from Sulemanovic. Duarte goes to his left, finds a little bit of separation. Another 3 goes flying, unsuccessful here for Unicaja. Alba wants to run. Griesel twisting, turning. And the collapse crash defense in transition by Unicaja. This is the reason they are 2-time defending champions. Defensively, they are tough to break down. Well, James Webb also subbing into lineup for the first time. Akbakoko putting his hand in the cookie jar. But Alberto Diaz is able to recover this one. Oh, Balser, oh, excuse me, no, that's Sulemanovic for 3. Another offensive rebound here by Barrero. Now Webb, time, space, 3. Still can't get it. God, struggling from the 3-point line. Emerson goes to his right, this time drawing the foul against Duarte. So that's going to be the final team foul against Unicaja. Jamon Hermanson's going to go to the bench. Low scoring so far here in the first 4 minutes. Sends a little bit of nerves and anxiety for both teams. Yeah, Jedovic also into the lineup for the first time. It's Maltadello just trying to find a gap here. Abakoko. Weber covers, nice little give and go, and in the end, it's a layup put away by Maltadello. Every possession is going to be big at the moment for Alba Berlin. They must win tonight to send this to a Game 3. Duarte just trying to run his options. Nice kick out there. Jedovic wide open in the corner. Still can't connect as Jawan Roberts comes up with it. Now Alba. Going quick in transition. Kyle puts up a deep three. But Roberts fights for it. He goes out of bounds. This will go back to the visitors. But you like the energy right now from Pedro Gaius' players. He's dumped down. Actually, Jawan Roberts, my apologies. Roberts with the dime, and the finish by Maltadello. Duarte trying to go down the middle. Simple pump fake and goodbye! Oh, what a rejection. Again, Alba Berlin connects in. Can they convert down the other end? Tries to keep this one alive, but it's picked up by Silimanovic. Another costly turnover. Duarte tries another three. Surely he's fouled. Oh, nothing given there. Well, Kyle tries to bully his way, finds Robinson. He'll finish, giving them a 6-point lead. Well, we haven't seen many field goals so far here in the first quarter. Quite an aggressive take there by Jack Kyle. Look at the, well, maybe there's minimal contact there, but foul is going to be called away from the ball. The foul is going to be called against Alex O'Connell. That's also Alba Berlin's final team foul to give. Neither team with any fouls left. Still 4:06 to go. He is finding Duarte. Silimanovic keeps this one alive. He's able to tuck this one away. Unicaja just failing to build any rhythm here in their offense. You could argue both teams struggling a little bit here offensively. Kyle goes to his right, finds Roberts. There's a kick out, wide open look. Three is up, three is good. Only 6 out of 26 in Game 1. Can they shoot better tonight? 7-point Alba lead. 5 points already from Maltadello as a foul is going to be committed, so Nihat Jedovic will go to the free throw line. The foul is on Maltadello. Nice little seal-off there from Jedovic. And there's another look at the three-pointer. They've got to shoot well tonight. Everything has got to count here for Alba Berlin. Because Unicaja currently 0 for 7 from the three-point line. Alba Berlin have only attempted 3 three-pointers. Those 2 turnovers already for Unicaja. Alba also committing 3, but the lack of scoring suggests neither team has really been able to connect and find that consistency. 5-point lead still here to Alba Berlin. Over 3 minutes left. A win tonight for Unicaja would see them go to the Final Four and make that turnover number 4. That's where I think the anxiety has come in. Even though they have their backs up against the wall, they have all of the Alba Berlin fans right behind them. Duarte again going to Silimanovic. Diaz makes an extra pass. Now Webb. He finally gets the first 3 tonight for Unicaja. 8 attempts. Finally one goes. Cutting it down to a 2-point deficit. Alba will go for another one. Contests for offensive boards, and what a fight comes up with it and finally gets it. Well, Maltadello, 7 points already here in the first quarter. God, just trying to find the way inside as Jedovic draws yet again another foul. This one's on Juwan Roberts, so Jedovic going back to the charity stripe. Well, this is the kind of fight you need to keep alive in the BCL. This is playing like this game could be your last. And the first three-pointer for Unicaja, that time going to James Webb. Well, Justin Cobbs is going to come into the game along with Kendrick Perry. So that is the Crna Gora backcourt. Both players having featured for the Montenegro national team. Oman Hermanson also checking back into the lineup. Jedovic just missing the second free throw. Just over 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Alba Berlin desperately trying to build any big lead they can. Well, Jack Kyle goes in, and now the foul has been drawn, so he'll go to the free throw line. That foul's on James Webb. Well, it's a great take by Kyle, just denies the screen, and that time Justin Cobbs unable to keep him in front. Well, Jack Kyle most recently actually featured for the German national team in both the 2025 and FIBA Eurobasket qualifiers, as well as the 2027 World Cup qualifiers. This past previous summers played at the FIBA U19 World Cup, where he averaged 11 points. It's a big part of that 2024 FIBA U18 Eurobasket team at 15 points per game. So definitely a rising German talent. And one day is going to be probably challenging Dennis Schroeder for that #1 role. Webb kicks out. Unicaja now. Make that the 9th three-point attempt. Still only 1 out of 9, and what a play. Oh, what an interception. Good hands by Nihad Jedovic. Now Kendrick Perry. He turns it up a level. He can't finish. Unicaja still battling, but it goes out of... Oh, no. That's going to remain Unicaja possession. And the fight and hustle from Emir Sulemanovic. Here's the interception by Jedovic. It's a take by Perry, but look at this. Sulemanovic. If you ever see this man fighting a bear, pray for the bear. Don't quote me on that. Quote Sulemanovic. Still a 2-possession deficit with under 1:30 left. Kendrick Perry getting that screen, now pulls up for 3. This one's up. 10 attempts. Unicaja looking like Alba Berlin last week in Malaga. The 3-point is not dropping consistently, but that could change at some point in this game. Kyle again looks to attack. Good defense by KP. Another turnover. Now Cobbs has it. Nothing quick in transition for Unicaja. Now they patiently bring this into the backcourt. Jedovic spins baseline. Goes in. Oh, but the putback dunk as James Webb comes in for the cleanup. That bounced on the rim twice before James Webb decided to slam that home. Coco goes to his right, probably should have gone to his left, but he misses from point-blank range. Well, he comes back up with it. 6 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Alba Berlin currently winning the defensive rebound count. Well, look at this. James Webb said, "I'll collect that. Good night." With the putback. Unicaja, you can see there though, leading the offensive rebound count tonight, which could be an invaluable stat come the end of this game. Hermanson hasn't got a lot of time, he's got to think about it, but another turnover here for Alba. There he goes quickly, little teardrop. Make that a 5th offensive board. That's going to remain Unicaja ball with 1.2 left here in the first quarter. Mon Hermanson still arguing that he felt he was impeded. Nothing was given. 1.2 left here for Unicaja. Well, there's the fadeaway 3. It's going to be a little too short, and there you have it. End of the first quarter here in Game 2 of the 2026 Basketball Champions League quarterfinals, powered by Amoresco Sunel. The two-time defending champions in a very low-scoring opening quarter, trailing by 2 points against Alba Berlin. We'll show you some stats here from the first quarter, and then we'll leave you with the best moments. And so far, Unicaja looking to wrap things up tonight and go to the Final Four. 10 three-point attempts. Converted 1. Alba Berlin's only taken 4. They've also only converted 1. Well, let's look at the highlights from the first quarter. Well, they haven't taken as many three-pointers tonight, Alba Berlin, as they did in the first quarter of Game 1. But they're only leading by 2 points. I think one area that's definitely affected them so far is the turnovers. So, welcome back, everybody, live here in Berlin, Germany. Game 2 of the quarterfinals of the Basketball Champions League, powered by Amoresco Sunel. Mon Hermanson getting a bit of a ghost action from Mac Bakoko. Alba Berlin trying to build some momentum. Being not given any time and space. Bakoko not looking to be a threat in the paint. Already another turnover. Good defense by Tilly. Unicaja so sharp in getting to the counterattack, but a foul is going to be called. Not sure if that's on Hermanson or... Bakoko just deciding not to contest for that one. That was very close. Hermanson matching up with Justin Cobbs. 5 here on the shot clock. Posts up, now finds the little fadeaway space. Able to level things up at 15. Tough move by the experienced point guard. Joining Unicaja halfway through the season. Quick thinky jump hook. Bakoko trying to keep it alive, but Perry comes up with it. Unicaja can't take the lead. There's a poor reversal. Jedovich In and around, slices the defense as he gives Unicaja a 2-point cushion. The two-time defending champions now starting to look like themselves. Alba Berlin's got to find somewhere where they can get an offensive advantage. Bakoko, that's going to be a blocking foul call. Now was Jedovic inside the restricted area. Let's have a look here. Tough to see. Was he inside the restricted area? I'm guessing must have been. Well, that's in between three defenders. Justin Bean just too slow to react and come for the help side, but Pedro Calles is not going to be happy with his defense there. A nice fadeaway by Justin Cobbs. Jack Kyle. This pulls up for a tough deep three. Had a few in the second half and gets the second one. Well, he had some big three-pointers that could have got them back into the game for a victory in Malaga. That's his first tonight. God, just going back down again. Jedovic right to the rack. He struggles with his perimeter shot, and if you followed him as a youngster, he was one of the sharpest three-point shooters in Europe. He's looking much better when attacking the rack as a slasher. Patient passing here from Alba Berlin. Bean goes in, out of control, and the bank's open. A little Mr. Bean dream hook. But look how quickly Unicaja, missed layup by Jedovic. Just when we're about to applaud the transition, Alba Berlin can extend the lead, but a foul is going to be called against Kylian Tilly. This is the kind of emotion, the energy that you want to see at a quarterfinal here in the BCL. What a move. A prayer by Justin Bean. Because ever since Jack Kyle made that three-pointer, you feel the confidence, the swagger of Alba Berlin just improving a little bit here in their body language. Alberto Diaz matching up with Jack Kyle. Weasel fakes it, now goes baseline. A foul is going to be called, and I think that's on Balsarovsky. Oleg said he had his hands up. Maybe so, but the momentum going into Sam Grizel. Well, Grizel has 3 points so far tonight. He hasn't missed a shot. He's also made the one free throw. He went to the charity strike for the Ab1, averaging 7.5 points per game. He had 18 points earlier in the season at the end of October against Nürnberg. It's the closest he's ever come to a double-double this season. It was in the second matchup against Nürnberg, in which he had 12 points and 7 assists. 64% free throw shooter so far here in the BCL. Well, the Humans of the BCL, I'm telling you fans, go to Basketball Champions League YouTube page and watch Humans of the BCL. It's returned. I'm happy. This time it's about Alba Berlin. You notice that the drummer for the Alba Berlin fans has been doing that for 13 years. That just goes to show the passion, the history of this club. Sulemanovic wide open, sinks it from downtown. And that's only the second three tonight for Unicaja. Teams locked in at 22 apiece. Oh, a little slip screen action coming from Juwan Robinson. Nicely gets right to the bucket. Pedro Calles demanding his plays when scoring. Get right up in the face of Unicaja. They've got to win tonight. 10 seconds left here in the shot clock, and an illegal screen is going to be called against Amir Sulemanovic. That's going to be the fourth team foul against Unicaja. So for 6:31 left, Alba Berlin's got to take full advantage and keep getting to the free throw line. Alba's taken 5 free throws so far here in the first half. You compare that with Unicaja, they've taken 6, so it's relatively, well, near the same if you think about it, but, well, draw the contact, get to the charity stripe, build this momentum. Another slip screen action again come from Roberts. Weasel penetrates, out of control. That's going to go out of bounds. So with 2.1 left on the shot clock, Alba will have it back. Quick give and go, but Kyle puts up another 3 deep in the corner. Nearly got it. Offensive rebound. Weasel tips it. Matovic comes up. Good hands by Justin Bean, preventing the chase or Deej quick transition bucket, and a foul is going to be called on the ground against Kyle. That's a big moment there indeed. You see good hands by Kyle, and it's a good thing he committed that on the ground, because it's only the 2nd team foul against Alba Berlin. Huddleston's going to check back into action, so I imagine he's going to be the primary point guard for Pedro Calles' team. As you can see the stoic demeanor of Pedro Calles and both Iban Navarro. Chase O'Deej, quick catch and shoot, unable to connect. Dean tries to fight for it, Burrow comes up with it. That time finds Kalinowski, still can't get it. Sulemanovic, putback is good. Too tough. He's too strong. He just simply wants it a bit more than everyone else. Now Hermanson coming off that screen looking for options. Going back to Jonas Matisek. Sulemanovic, that last field goal moves him up to 7. Well, not an at 1, but free throws coming up for Moses Wood. And that's going to be called against Tyler Kalinowski. Well, interesting about Moses Wood, because his father, David Wood, was actually a former professional basketball player who played in the NBA. She was teammates with one Michael Jordan, as well as one Hakeem Olajuwon. But Moses Wood was born in Europe when his father was playing professionally for CSP Limoges. Because if you know anything about CSP Limoges, a former basketball Champions League team. Last time they played in the competition was in 2023. Alba Berlin still lead by 2 points. Kalinowski finds Sulemanovic. There's a kick out. Diaz open 3, buries it from downtown. And now the 2-time defending champions reclaim the lead by 1. Because they want that victory tonight. Go back to the Final Four. Moses Wood left wide open. He'll fire a 3, and both teams exchanging 3-point field goals. And the kind of action you would expect to see here in the quarterfinals of the BCL. The Basketball Champions League season number 10 has brought the very best out of every team. We've had some great years, but I can't remember one as exciting as this one here in 2025-26. Sulemanovic has got 7 points. Foul is going to be given, so he'll go back to the free throw line. Well, there's another look at the three-point shooting between these two teams. Diaz and Moses Wood exchanging buckets. Because at this point in the game one, Unicaja had actually built a bit of daylight between them and Alba Berlin. It was only in the third and fourth quarter we saw the comeback, which the brigade was led by Jack Kyle. Because right now it's very close. Sulemanovic unable to hit the second one. Over 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Hermanson. That's going to be an offensive foul against Mon Hermanson. I think that's the right call. You clearly can see just using the extension of the push-off to find the separation. Let's have a look here. There's the first elbow. Yep. I think that was great defense from Alberto Diaz. Now Diaz getting a taste of his own medicine. Maltadello trying to get right up on him. Kalinowski wants to find an opening from the perimeter as Barrero sets that pick. Flash high from Sulemanovic. That's going to be a traveling violation. Unicaja haven't committed as many turnovers as Alba Berlin early on here. Alba Berlin already have 8 so far here in the first half. Only 5 at the moment for Unicaja. But for both these two teams, those standards, well, those turnovers are too high for their standards. They pride themselves on their ability to take care of the basketball. Tough high arc and fadeaway, and that almost looked like Dirk Nowitzki in an Alba jersey. Unicaja can reclaim the lead. Sulemanovic goes in, and just having a dominant game. Controlling the paint is Chase Odij. Almost coming up with a steal, but that will be retained by Alba Berlin. Well, he knows the pressure's on tonight. Gotta win. Gotta send this to a game 3. And even with a win tonight, you gotta go on the road back to Malaga. Well, faking the handoff now. Roberts goes in. Roberts double clutches and finishes inside the paint. And it all happened with the fake of the handoff. Quickly, Unicaja get the ball up the floor, and Moses Wood with the block. Sulemanovic left wide open. Roberts comes up with the board. Alba have numbers. Kyle aggressively hangs, goes in, can't finish. Driesel comes up with it. There's a pump fake. Driesel now baseline. Little teardrop. Still can't finish. Second consecutive offensive rebound. Now Moses Wood made his last, and he buries another one. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Like father, like son, and a timeout is going to be called by Iban Navarro. Alba Berlin leading by 4. Born in Limoges, made in the BCL. That was a save by Juwan Roberts. We'll head down to Unicaja's bench to find out what Coach Iban Navarro has to say. Well, 2 3-pointers coming from Moses Wood. And so far, the three-point shooting much better from Alba Berlin here in game 2, excuse me. They're currently 50% from downtown. 2 made by Moses Wood, 1 from Maltadello, and the other one from Jack Kyle. Oh. See the stat line from Juwan Roberts. Only 3 players in the history of the Basketball Champions League have been able to achieve a triple-double. But I don't think he's going to be thinking about that tonight. He wants the victory. Let's go back to Malaga. Let's get to Badalona. Possession deficit, a little pick and pop action. 2 fires up a 3, can't get it. Driesel comes up with a rebound. Now Jack Kyle wants to run. It's coming up for the high screen. Montadello getting Chase O'Deege off the ground. He's now run to 2 minutes. Roberts finds a wide open Montadello, can't get it, and that's going to go out of bounds. It's a good build-up. Just a little high pick and roll scenario with Jawan Roberts. They want to go down low to Kenyon Tilly. O'Deege. Again, another paint entry. Mismatch here. Roberts tries to come for the double team, but too little, too late. As Kenyon Tilly just takes advantage. It's an area which Unicaja should have an advantage here tonight. Yes, they only have 14 points in the paint compared to 16 for Alba Berlin. Neither team's able to dominate him. Both teams 5 points in turnovers, 5 second chance points, but both of them 0 transition buckets tonight. I think that's a testament with Unicaja also leading the BCL in steals this season, but defensively they're very well equipped. Jawan Roberts will go to the bench. He'll take a breather. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists for him. Kyle down low to Agbakoko. Big man, got to take advantage. Oh, throw it down, Agbakoko. Throw it down. Struggled in the first half against Unicaja. He's got to come big tonight. Duarte. Bumps. Fade away. Sweet like string music. Not sure how much iron it touched, but it was a good move by Duarte. Kyle again going to his right, pulls up from 15. Unicaja now again can try to take the lead with a three-pointer. Can also level things up with a simple 2. Well, there's a 3. Tilly. And it just hasn't worked here in the first half. It's almost like a replica of how Alba Berlin were in the first half against Unicaja from the three-point line. Final shot coming up from Kyle. Kyle goes for it, high arc, and just cannot connect. There you have it, end of the first half in the second game. Game 2 of the quarterfinals of the Basketball Champions League. The 2-time defending champions Unicaja trailing by 2 against Alba Berlin. 2 very good defensive teams here in Season 10 of the BCL. Unicaja, a win would see them go back to a 4th consecutive Final Four, while a win for Alba Berlin would see them push it to a 3rd and final deciding game. Alba Berlin 40% from the three-point line, only 26% last week. Both teams 19 rebounds, Alba Berlin 3 more assists. Unicaja do have 2 more steals for that matter. We'll take a look at the game's leading scorers so far. It's been a great game for Amir Sulemanovic, the only player in double figures. Moses Wood with his 2 3-pointers leads the way for Alba Berlin, while both Jedovic and Montadello have 7 apiece. Jawan Roberts, 7 rebounds and 3 assists. Flirting with a triple-double, but we'll leave you with the highlights, and we'll be back for the second half momentarily. Well, it's a nervy game for both of them. Like I said, the talk at halftime for Ivan Navarro said, listen, keep going to, assuming the talk would be, let's keep going through the motions. If we get those open looks from the perimeter, let's take them. If not, let's find other ways to score. Because it was Oleg Balsarovsky who did lead them in Game 1 with 15 points advantage. You can join us in Badalona for the 2026 Final Four, getting your tickets using that QR code to buy them today. I'm sure that QR code has been used by thousands of Lithuanian fans from Vilnius. If you saw the atmosphere from the 500 Ritas fans who made the journey to Prague last night, well, it's going to be an exciting atmosphere when the Ritas fans come in town. But who's going to join them? Will it be the Alba Berlin fans, or will it be the Unicaja fans? Well, I've said it a few times already, but welcome back to Humans of the BCL, the great work by the digital and content team of the Basketball Champions League. Go to the BCL's YouTube platform, Basketball Champions League, and check out the most recent episode of Humans of the BCL. Second half back underway, season number 10 of the BCL. Powered by Amoresco Sunel. Unicaja looking to level things up. They'll go for an early three as Duarte knocking down the fourth three-point field goal. He's had some good looks tonight. Can that propel his confidence? Alberto Diaz matching up against Mon Hermanson. The foul is going to be committed by Nihad Jedovic. Just tried to gamble there to come up with a steal for the open floor, but that's going to be a foul. That's quite a risky pass if you ask me there from Mon Hermanson. Alex O'Connell just does enough there to keep that under control. Well, this time they do turn it over. Now Duarte. Scored an earlier three-point, that time failing for the bank. Robinson coming up with the board. There's the alley-oop, and Agba Coco! Oh, good tonight. Good night from Berlin. Agba Coco now with the second field goal. I felt that should have been possession in favor of Alba Berlin. We should love the atmosphere. Game after game we've seen here in the Basketball Champions League. As fans of this historic team, Alba Berlin. A good anticipation by Agba Coco, but that goes out of bounds. Vasilevsky just needs to cement that position a little bit more aggressively. Well, the Viking ran, and the Albatross flew high in the sky. Agba Coco Airlines. Coming for Jedovic, and finally gets one to drop as he puts Unicaja back ahead up by two. Now making their first 2 threes of the game. They had a wide open look on the perimeter with Moses Wood, but in the end, they try to find Agba Coco. Unicaja's defense just reading that one to perfection. Well, no foul given. Alba have numbers. Another three goes flying. Weak side rebound picked up by Moses Wood. It's going to be a backcourt violation. I think Alba Berlin are arguing that they felt a foul should have been called when they came up with the steal, but I think the officials did a good job of allowing play to continue. Still early here in the third quarter. Unicaja can try to extend their lead. Can they make it back to a fourth consecutive BCL Final Four? Duarte goes backdoor and gives them a 2-possession lead. The two-time BCL defending champions look like they're getting into rhythm at the moment. 7 points now for Chris Duarte. 5 of them coming here in the third quarter. Robinson picks up his dribble. Another kick out, tough pass. Deep three goes flying. That's a good look. Oh, good defense. A lot of contact, but no and one given. As Alex O'Connell will go to the free throw line. It's a bit of a lackadaisical error by James Webb, but great anticipation by Alex O'Connell. Rukai is just watching on. Well, Alex O'Connell actually started his NCAA career at Duke University. He's then switched and went to Creighton. Started in the NBA G League after going undrafted. And his first taste of international basketball came when he went to the Italian Liga, or Serie A, if you like. Another three goes flying and finally gets one to drop. He may struggle from the free throw line, but no problem from downtown. 5th three of the night now here for Alba Berlin. Team fighting to live another day in the BCL. He's still trailing by 1. Jedovic, nice dive, finds Duarte, and he's cooking with 7 points here in the third quarter. This could spell trouble for Unicaja. But Coco, that's surely going to be a foul. called this one on Balcerovski. I have to see the replay, but let's have a look here. Watch Balcerovski. It's tough. It's a tough one indeed. But there's the nice sublime primetime dime coming from Jetovic. Oh, that's an interesting way to pick up a three-pointer. But every little bit counts when it's game 2 and you need to win. Balcerovski already 4 fouls. It's not been a great night for the man who led Unicaja in scoring in game 1. Sulimanovic is going to match up with Akmakoko. There's a backdoor again. What a... Oh, no, it's going to be... Oh, would have been a nice dunk, but it looked like a great block. But in the end, it's a foul. It's another great pass by Jonas Matisek and O'Connell. We should have tucked that one away for an M1. I thought it was a block. It wasn't actually a block indeed. It was a missed dunk attempt. Now Duarte goes to the bench. He have just probably unfortunately lacerated his finger when going for the attempted block, but now O'Connell makes the free throw. Well, Duarte's not allowed to sub back into the game when the free throws are going on because he had to leave due to the injury. Kylian Tilly has checked back into the game along with Tyler Kalinowski. Now there needs to be some further delay. I'm not quite sure what it's about, but it's because the substitution couldn't quite been made at that moment. So they got to bring James Webb back into the court. Well, second free throw coming up now here for Alex O'Connell. Can cut it down to a 1-point deficit. And he missed another one. He missed 4 free throws so far this evening, Alba Berlin. He is trying to get rid of the possession. Jetovic now goes for another attack. Goes in. Smooth play by Nihat Jetovic. Getting it back to a 2-possession lead. God, I feel like slowly but surely just trying to get a grasp on the game here in the second half. Only a 4-point lead. Kyle Pumpfinks. A lot of contact, no foul given. Rebound picked up by Webb. Long cross-court pass coming from Diaz. Sulimanovic does well. Webb down the middle. Sulimanovic goes in, reverse layup, and that's a BEA. Beautiful play by Emir Sulimanovic. Unicaja extending to a 6-point lead here in the third quarter. The dish was nice, but the reverse layup by Sulimanovic, who avoids the block and extends the lead. Let's listen now to head coach Pedro Calles. Well, there was a take by Nihat Jetovic. He's had a very good game scoring-wise. You know, he's very much a utility role play, but also a very elite one for that matter. For both Nihat Jetovic And Sulemanovic coming into fruition in this game. Both have 12 points apiece. Alba's got to get a response here. They don't want the momentum of this game to go any further in favor of Unicaja. Still, they don't have a player in double figures. Kyle. Lockdown mode coming from Tyler Kalinowski. Abakoko quickly goes in, but misses from point-blank range. Well, they got the good look. But Abakoko with 4 points. He's got to finish that one. A mismatch here for Kylian Tilly. Kyle tries to stand strong. That's good defense, forcing him into a fadeaway. But can Alba finally get something here on the counter? Abakoko slip screen. Kyle still has it. But goes for another one. Alba patiently trying to find a way, another three-point attempt, but nothing coming. Is this the point of the game where Unicaja build that margin, which becomes a mountain to climb for Unicaja? Tilly, pump fakes, gets the M1. Once he missed Sulemanovic, excuse me. And that foul is on Norris Abakoko. Sulemanovic now the game's leading scorer as he converts this. Well, Abakoko is going to leave the game. Sam Grizel coming back into the lineup along with Juwan Roberts. Look at the scoring here in the third quarter. 16-8 in favor of Unicaja. This team has never lost a game in the quarterfinals since 2022. They've been fantastic ever since Unicaja. The most recent matchup was against Reggio Emilia. Prior to that, of course, it was Peristeri, then Ukam Murthy the first time. And they went on to the Final Four, but another turnover here. And Alba Berlin looked like they've lost the identity, the confidence in their offense. And this is a bad time to pull into this stage. As Abakoko just goes into the accredited media zone. Nine-point Unicaja lead. Can they extend it to double digits? He's had a quiet game. Kicks out. Kalinowski pulls up for 15. And a big rebound by Grizel. Hope he's got to be restored here for Alba. Foul is going to be drawn. So 2 free throws coming up for Jack Kyle. He was 1 for 9 from the field this evening, only with 4 points. He has gone to the free throw line, but he's 1 for 2. Alba Berlin 7 out of 11 collectively from the charity stripe. And he had a monumental game in the second half against Unicaja. Kyle finished with 19 points, 4 out of 7 from the three-point line in Malaga last week where they lost by 3. Second one good. It's been a low scoring here in the third quarter for the hosts. They don't want to lose tonight. If they lose tonight, the only thing they can look forward to is the domestic lead of the Easy Credit Bundesliga. They want to get to the Final Four. The big reason why they wanted to join the Basketball Champions League. Sulemanovic goes for another 3, not going to get it. And another foul committed, so another trip to the free throw line for Jack Kyle. Just like the second quarter, the foul count was very similar, if not the very same. So Unicaja can just keep getting, if Alba Berlin can keep getting fouled, just keep chipping into the deficit. Well, hope is not all lost tonight here in Berlin. Make this one. You cut it down, indeed, to a 5-point deficit. 3:48 left to go here in the third quarter. The must-win for Alba Berlin. Jack Kyle only missed one free throw so far this evening. 5 out of 6 in total for Jack Kyle. Because Alba Berlin do have fouls to give, so they can take a few gambles defensively. Griesel now switching here as Justin Bean picks up Kalinowski. Perry to the lane, elevates, and he missed it. And that's going to go back to Alba Berlin. I was just trying to figure out who eventually stepped out of bounds, but Maltadello does a magnificent job. So Alba, can they make it a one-possession ball game? Roberts coming up for the pick. Want Kyle to get going here to build some offense. Time is winding down. Kyle goes to his right. Wants another turnover here for Alba. How costly could it be? Oh, no foul. Are you kidding me? Ay Dios mío. He was looking for a foul. And in the end, he got a three-pointer. Kendrick Perry is truly extraordinary. I don't think there's any other word to describe this man. He was looking for a foul. In the end, he got a three-pointer. Incredibile. Well, Griesel had time and space. Went to Kyle. Got to take this one surely. Too many passes. In the end, a foul is going to be committed. Just when Alba Berlin could have made it a one-possession ball game. Unicaja get it back up by 8. But credit to Unicaja's defense. Any bucket now will make it a double-digit lead for Unicaja. We're getting that screen to the left here from Sulemanovic. Kalinowski, 3. Almost got it. Goes out of bounds, so Alba will get it back with 2:07. It's probably one of the most terrifying things about Unicaja. It's just how ruthless and aggressive they are when contestants of rebounds. Griesel trying to keep this one under control. Matched up against Amir Sulemanovic. Alba again going deep into the shot clock. Griesel, little teardrop, out of control, can't get it. That's another Alba turnover. And could this prove to be too costly for Alba Berlin? It's one too many turnovers for them. 15 so far in total. Wow, Unicaja also just getting a little too ahead of themselves. Game is not over by a stretch. It's only 7 turnovers for them. They could have done on so many occasions here in the third quarter, built this to a double-digit lead. They want to get it wrapped up. They want to go to their 4th consecutive Final Four. They want to bring home a 3-peat championship in the BCL, something that's never been achieved. And another one. Another Alba turnover. Well, good hands by Jack Kyle. Webb, wide open 3. Still can't get it. Don't have the numbers, but Sam Griesel will pull it for 3. It's all too short, but KP keeps this one alive. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Sulemanovic getting locked up with Jack Kyle. No foul given. Final seconds winding down. Ghost action. Perry goes himself, but he doesn't need the ghost screen, because Perry makes it an 11-point ball game. His second field goal tonight, and both have come from the 3-point line. Now the slip screen coming. Kyle draws an, are you kidding me? Wunderbar. This kid's incredible. Just like Kendrick Perry, he's only looking for the foul, but he gets an and one. This is KP doing KP things. Well, this can cut it back down to an 8-point deficit with 27.8 left. Jack Kyle. This is the third time he's gone to the free throw line here in the third quarter. He's got 10 points. He's had a rough night from the field. That bucket there was only his last one since making the three-pointer in the first half. Kyle converts it. Those fans hoping that they can get the job done here tonight, and take this back to Málaga. Roughly 3 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Roberts now switching. Kyle again matched up with Emir Slimanovic. Perry, number 3. Oh my goodness! Kendrick MVP Perry. 3 threes. Kyle, half court. Really got it. So we head into the final 10 of the fourth quarter. And again, un otra vez, KP doing KP things. $11 points isn't a big margin in the big grand scheme of things. But Unicaja now 33% from downtown. 8 3-pointers converted. And as we saw, 5 of them coming in the third quarter. We'll take a look at the highlights very soon, live here in Berlin, Germany. Started with Chris Duarte. That was the first field goal of the third quarter. At that point, kind of felt the alley-oop moment coming from Norris Agmakoko. The dime from Mon Hermanson. This was going to remain a close game, but since then, Unicaja, they have started to indeed run away from it. That was the first 3 from Nihad Jedovic. That time, the backdoor play as Alberto Diaz finding Chris Duarte once again. Well, it's going to be about second chance opportunity points tonight. It was the reverse layup by Emir Slimanovic. Alba Berlin struggling in their offense in the third quarter, but like in game 1, they must find other ways to score. One final quarter to save their BCL campaign. Because one of the times the BCL was won by a team that only just joined the competition was back in 2019. And fans, are you ready to dominate European basketball? If so, use that QR code and download Pro Basketball Manager 2026. You can play it live on Steam using that QR code, Pro Basketball Manager 2026. Well, welcome back live here in Berlin, Germany. Game 2 of the quarterfinals here at the Basketball Champions League. Season number 10, powered by Amoresco Sunel. Berlin's got to make this the best quarter so far of the season. Mon Hermanson back in the lineup. Finds Agmakoko. Goes in this time, no problem for the big fella. Now he moves up to 6 points. 3 out of 6 from the field tonight for Norris Agmakoko. Web baseline, spin out. Rebound collected. Now they're trying to build a wave of momentum. It's Mon Hermanson, Justin Bean on the floor, along with Jonas Matasek. Hermanson nowhere to go. Final seconds. Moses Wood has made 2 threes. That's just way off the mark. Nobody contesting from the backcourt for an offensive rebound. Well, Berlin's got to realize this could be their final quarter in the BCL. The 2-time defending champions wanting to wrap it up tonight. Monte attacks the rim. Little Eurostep and finishes. And he'll get the +1. And that is just a dagger to the heart of the confidence of the Alba Berlin players. All of a sudden you hear silence here in the arena. It was Agbakoko on the previous play, and it was on the, well, I say the second the one prior to that, because the last one was a three-point attempt from Moses Wood. 11 points for Chris Duarte. Only the third player in double figures, so he'll become the, well, again, another profit. And what happened there? Well, Moses Wood needs to be a lot tougher, because all of a sudden, Unicaja just playing bully basketball. 13-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Hermanson finds Agbakoko again. Big man throws it down. And Norris looked like he had a vendetta against the rim. 8 points tonight for Norris Agbakoko, and a moving screen is going to be called against Emir Sulemanovic. So Unicaja can't lose their focus at the moment. That's tough. That is a tough one indeed, but your time, Norris. Throw it down, big man. Throw it down. Almost 2 minutes played here in the fourth quarter. Alba Berlin have to make a comeback. Agbakoko now, here we go, look out. Agbakoko goes in. Doesn't get the ad one, but he gets a foul. And now he'll go to the free throw line, and that's going to be a fifth and final foul against Oleg Balsarovsky. That is so unfortunate. Agbakoko, I just wonder if he went up to try and dunk it. Could have ad one been inevitable. But now he's got to make these free throws, get it back down to single digits. 8.8 points per game so far this season. 75% from the free throw line. Norris Agbakoko. Plus one's good. Both free throws converted by Norris Agbakoko. It's a full court pressure coming from Alba Berlin. Just trying to deal with the pressure coming from Jonas Matasek. That's going to be a turnover. Agbakoko comes up with it. It's a 4-0 run currently hit from Alba Berlin. Hermanson, primary point guy. Forcing the switch now, defended by Sulemanovic. Still has it. Oh, good defense by Sulemanovic. Swipe that one. It's quite a hard foul by Norris Agbakoko, if you ask me. Because behind Hermanson, I just feel at times he's a great player, but where he hasn't done a lot tonight, he hasn't taken a lot of perimeter shots, and he's got to have confidence in that three-point shot. He's a good three-point shooter. He's got to let it rip now. I feel the Unicaja defense are expecting him to try and take it deep into the paint off his screen. Agbakoko, nice little rush there, but now he's got to recover. Janovic just made 1 3. Not going to get this one. Barrero comes up with it, and a foul is going to be called. I don't think Jonathan or Barrero appreciated that one. I think his reaction tells you everything. Alberto Diaz will inbound this. And that's going to be a 5-second violation. I just wonder, how many times has Unicaja been called for a 5-second violation in their time in the BCL since 2021? That is truly a solar eclipse. Well, Jack Kyle being pressurized. That's surely an 8-second violation. Yep, another turnover. And Alba Berlin, if they are unable to win this game, the turnovers are going to be a big factor. It's one too many turnovers. That time, Jack Kyle, yet a young guy, but he's got to understand you got a responsibility at this stage. 17 turnovers too many tonight for Alba Berlin. Sideline possession coming up here for Unicaja. Still leading by 9 points. Barrero now looks to attack the gaps. They have got away with a hook there, but they're going to call now one. And Coach Pedro Calles felt a hook. Should have been called against Jonathan Barrero. It's an aggressive move. He does great to get to the bucket, but watch here with the left arm. Well, tough one indeed. Justin Bean's going to get called for the foul on that play. By Jonathan Barrero, chance to extend this to a 12-point lead for Unicaja. Three-point play converted. The defending champions, two-time defending champions of the BCL. 6 minutes, 30 seconds away from getting to the Final Four. Or could it be game 3 if Alba Berlin can make a comeback? Kyle, got to make this one. 3 is up, and it just won't go. Still there's time left in the game, but Alba Berlin don't have any fouls to give. He's looking to go to his right. Silimanovic just rolling inside the paint. Pjetovic trying to bully his way inside. Nice little 1-2, and in the end, it's Pjetovic, it's Silimanovic, and it's a great combo. And now it's a 14-point lead as Pedro Calles calls timeout. Alba Berlin looking down at the barrel. Still, they've got time. Can they muster something here down by 14?
Hey, don't stop, don't stop. We keep going. Hey, we came back from this a million times. Play our stuff, we're gonna get our run. Let's go. Hey, we run here. Zipper with the touch. Jonas, remember you want entry. Jonas, there's gonna be a mass action. Home and out of the zipper, touch. Okay, with Jack. And then top flat spacing. Justin, you go see Jonas, you tap into the corner. Right, you want. After this, locate into this tank, and if you get the corner, see your back. Okay, guys, the message is keep playing 6 more minutes. And talking of defense, every possession to the limit. Okay, back, let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, character.
Well, it was great teamwork between both. He missed Silimanovic and he had Pjetovic. I think at the moment, even though there's a lot of time left, this has almost become a boxing fight between these two teams. You gotta look at how exhausted Unicaja are. Just remember, if they ought to go on and do a three-peat this year, they'll go for a 3rd consecutive time, hypothetically, to the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. It's been a very long 3 seasons. Kyle going for a deep 3. Again, no offensive rebounding coming from Alba Berlin. They've got to change something. They've got to turn it around. Otherwise, Unicaja will be joining Ritas Vilnius at the Final Four. Duarte hesitates, pulls up inside the paint, and now it's a 16-point lead. Everything connecting for the 2-time defending BCL champions. Points tonight for Chris Duarte. The slip screen action coming for Justin Bean. Kyle still has it. Foul is going to be called, but that's only the 3rd team foul against Unicaja. There was a take by Chris Duarte. And he's come big in the second half. Remember, he only had 2 points in the beginning of the second half. Found his rhythm, the confidence, the identity in the third quarter. Now he's built on it magnificently. Well, Kyle's got to get something. Goes in. Can he get it? But another missed that one attempt. And these are crucial. How many times have they failed to convert and that one in this game, Alba Berlin? Unicaja know this game isn't over. 5:05 left. He's been perfect from the free throw line so far here in the second half. Second free throw converted, still down by 14. Alba's got to get stopped. Both teams, no more fouls to give. Duarte just caught on the defense, trying to find Sulemanovic. Griezl coming out from the help side. Barrero got to take this one. High flying arc. But Juwan Roberts coming and collecting the rebound. Alba's got to push. Every offense has got to count. Griezl now twisting. Well, good hands by Alberto Diaz coming up with the steal. And Unicaja don't need to rush anything at this stage. They just need to patiently take their time. Sulemanovic sets that screen, gets a switch. Griezl has got to stand strong here. Jetovic, another three goes flying. And that's been a big difference in this game. The offensive rebounding. Well, Juwan Roberts comes up with it. Here comes Kyle. There's the alley-oop in it. Well, now they finally get it at one. I'm just about to say, Alex O'Connell caught the ball mid-air. Did you just give up an alley-oop? Well, no, he actually caught it at a tough angle, so smart decision. And finally, Alba Berlin get an at one. So Justin Bean can indeed cut this down to 11 points if he converts this free throw. Only 4 points tonight for Bean and his first trip to the free throw line. Alba, 16 out of 20 collectively as a team. No problem. Under 4 minutes, down 11. Barrero trying to break the pressure himself. Well, Kyle comes up with it. Good defense. And now it's a 9-point deficit. Oh, a 6-0 run from Alba Berlin. And Iban Navarro will call timeout. It is hope still alive tonight here in Berlin. Barrero just got a little too ahead of himself. And Kyle made it pay. Not over yet.
We don't stay there for nothing. Good defensive transition. Very important now, the basics, vale? Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Come on.
Well, there was a great anticipation. The interception from Jack Kyle. The question is, though, down by 9. Can they continue to come up with stops, force some turnovers? And that's not, again, Kyle with another rejection. Did they call basket interference? Well, very tough to see it happen all too quickly, but Pedro Calles is going to go for a head coach's challenge. Or did he just touch the backboard, I think? Well, our officials are going to come together. Mikal Maniste from Estonia, Mans Kozlauskis from Latvia, Gedvilas from Lithuania done a great job tonight. So Kozlauskis going to the monitor. He's going to have a review of this one with Gedvilas. Let's listen up to what they have to say.
We have a head coach challenge from the purple team about the last goaltending. Can we see from the main camera normal speed? Okay. It's the same angle, but let's go with the slow motion. Very, very slow. Slow to slower. Let's go. Okay, let's show it another one. Okay, good one. And in the last moment, let's go frame by frame. Ball is still upwards. Let's go back. Okay, let's go. Can you stop it now? Stop. And can you go from the main camera now? It's the same, but with this moment to the main camera. Can we go like this? Just change the camera now. Because now we have to see if the ball touched the backboard first or not. Okay, let's go. Next frame. Next frame. Next frame. From this angle, I would say he made a legal block. Let's go to say the previous angle. Oh yeah, above the rim. Do you have an angle above the rim? No, above the rim. On the backboard, on the backboard. Can we see this, please? Okay, let's go back. No, we cannot see from this angle. No, we cannot see. Let's go back. Okay, let's go. The ball is still going. It doesn't touch the backboard yet. So for me, the block was legal.
So first touch the ball.
Yes, and
After
then
the ball touch the backboard.
yes. So for me,
Ball
this
is an upward motion.
yes, and ball is still going upward
And the ball
motion.
is to
Yeah. So coach's challenge was successful. It's a legal play, no basket. Thank you.
Well, a successful head coach's challenge for Pedro Calles. I think the question here to decide is who will have possession, but we've just seen the signal from Mans Kozlauskis, our referee. Well, a huge relief here in Germany, in the heart of Berlin. Still down. Still this time, still this hope for Pedro Calles' players to try and push this to a third and final game back in Malaga. Unicaja still leading by 9 points. For them, it's Operation Hang On. They took over in the third quarter. Can they do enough to try and get back to the Final Four? Roberts goes in quickly and cuts it down to a 7-point deficit. And all of a sudden, the emotion, the energy coming from the Albatross. The energy hasn't been this buzzing here in the second half until now. 8 points already for Joanne Roberts. Hasn't missed a field goal shot tonight. Neither team with any fouls to give. Carries in 2 crucial threes so far here. Can he go for another one? A fadeaway. Doesn't get it, but another offensive rebound. That has been a monumental difference tonight between these two teams. But again, here we are one more time. Perry. Only seconds left. Kalinowski might have got away with it. Perry final seconds and another offensive rebound. Kalinowski, three. Got it! The home crowd insinuated, or infuriated, excuse me. He thought a foul should have been called on Kalinowski. That's his first three-pointer tonight, his first field goal after 6 attempts. There's a pump fake, there's the attack. Goes in, can't finish. Roberts comes up with it. Goes back in. Now it's an 8-point deficit with over 2 minutes. Now moves into double figures. He's his third player along with Jack Kyle and Norris Makoko to get into double figures. 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Now we're into 2 minutes. Well, James Webb out of control finds Kalinowski. There's the penetration, doesn't get it. Rebound collected by O'Connell. Alba fighting with everything. They must score again on every possession. Risky pass. Griesel still has it. Griesel keeps it alive, and a foul is going to be given. And Johnson cut it down to a 6-point deficit if he can make both free throws. You can probably hear the heart palpitations of every fan here tonight in Berlin. Because it was only in the third quarter where, they led at the beginning of the second half by 2 points. But they really let things slip away, especially the three-point shooting, how great it was from Unicaja. But Griesel, too short on the free throw. They've missed 5 free throws tonight. Think about it. You make all 5 of those misses, well, it's potentially a one-possession ball game. Second one good. 134 down by 7. They go for the double team. They commit themselves. They got to recover here. Unicaja don't need to rush anything. Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. Roberts going for a double again. Perry almost loses it. Well, that's going to be a 24-second violation. Alba will get it back. And Unicaja at the moment choking under pressure from Alba's defense. I would say Jerome Roberts intelligent not to go to grab the ball, because he kind of semi-commits himself, because had he gone for a jump ball, that could have spelled a bit of trouble for Alba Berlin. But Alba must score on this play. Well, Jack Kyle's got to go quickly. Roberts goes in. A lot of contact, but he doesn't get the out one. And that could have been big. The foul is on Kylian Tilly. Just imagine had he made this. Because Roberts has had a great game tonight. But every good player has an Achilles, only averaging 6 points per game. A 63% free throw shooter this season. Now is the time to make your free throws. And he just gets the shooter's bounce on the first one. 6-point deficit. Can he cut it down to 5? This would be crucial. Makes them both. Made them when they needed them. But Alba don't need to foul. We don't have to. Just got to defend 2 good plays. They cannot give away any more offensive rebounds. There's a double team coming. Tilly fakes it. Jetovic goes for three. It's up. Doesn't get it. Alba comes up with it. But they got to be quick here, given the time left. Kyle goes for a Hail Mary. Oh, baby! Wunderbar! Jack Kyle with the deep dagger from no man's land. 1, 2, 3, bitteschön. Game on. Timeout called by Unicaja, 35.6. This game was dead and buried with a 14-point. Let's listen now. Well, just when you thought this game was dead and buried, Alba Berlin, the never say die attitude of the BCL. Incredible scenes we've seen tonight from Pedro Calles' players. .6 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Any bucket now would probably seal the deal for Unicaja. And again, Alba don't need to foul. Kyle matched up here with Alberto Diaz. Time expiring here on the shot clock. Robert switches. Kenyon Tilly goes for it. A lot of contact. And Alba comes up with it. Well, the three would win it. And Jack Kyle time could be. He's thinking about it. Hesitates. The foul is called on the ground. The Alba fans were hoping for that one, but he will still be going to the. That's a good call, actually, because you can quite clearly see the foul was committed before he got into his gather step. But can the young man, who hasn't missed a free throw in the second half, he's 8 out of 9, 18 points. He was the leading scorer last week when they lost in game 1. Can he hold his nerve and make both free throws? Well, it's a big moment here for the young man. I think Pedro Calles, well, he can argue all he wants, but that's the right call in my mind. That foul's on the ground. Pressure here on this young man. Oh, he missed it. This means now he's got to miss this one in the hope they come up with an offensive rebound. Tough one indeed, because he's had such a fantastic game. Juwan Roberts has got to anticipate to go for an offensive board here. You gotta hope you miss it while it still touches the rim, otherwise it's gonna be a violation. Comes up his own rebound, doesn't get it. And another foul called. I think Jack Kyle's going back to the free throw line. I think the officials need to establish here, was the foul committed before time expired? I think it did, actually. So, game not over yet. So Jack Kyle most likely will be going back to the free throw line, and for sure hope he doesn't have a Nick Anderson Orlando Magic 1995 moment if he does go back to the free throw line. Foul is called. Now they need to go to the monitor just to establish how much time is left when the foul was committed. So Mikel Maniste and Martins Kovlaskis will go to the monitor to have a review.
We are coming to the review the last foul and the time, how much time has left on the game clock. We have to see the point of the contact. This is the moment when we have to, okay, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Now slowly, slowly. And you are telling me when exactly. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. And now is the, so 1.8 on the game clock. Yeah, okay. So we have 2 free throws for number 9. No, yeah, for number 7. Yes, thank you. So 1.8.
So 1.8 has been added to the game clock. But Jack Kyle, who missed his last 2 free throws prior to that, was 8 out of 9. Can he hold it together here to try and knock these down and potentially take this into overtime? We'll find out. Well, Janovic, I'm not quite sure what he's arguing there, but we can only just try to keep it cool now. Got to make this one. He's had a great game so far. First one good. He should make this one. You're looking at the prospect of overtime with 1.8 left if they can defend one final play. Makes them both. That's big time there. Cool, calm, collected from the young Jack Kyle as it gives Alba Berlin a bit of hope. But now a timeout is going to be called by Unicaja. They still have a chance to win this with 1.8 left. Well, we're going to head down to their bench to find out what Ivan Navarro is going to say. What a nail-biting ending. Well, they have a chance to win this at 1.8. Welcome everybody live here in Berlin, Germany. Game 2. Are we heading into overtime in the quarterfinals? Or can Unicaja get one final play to head back to their 4th consecutive BCL Final Four? Alberto Diaz will inbound this. We gotta get it inbound. Ivan Kalinowski goes in for it. Doesn't get it. And we are going to overtime. Got a wide open look in the end. And everybody's hot here in Berlin. Just stopped for a split second. And once the ball didn't go in the net, all of a sudden the bump of action right back in. Alba Berlin not ready to quit yet. The 3-point shooting has drastically changed immensely here in the 4th quarter for Unicaja. You can see 9 out of 30 from the 3-point line. Was 20 out of 38 from within inside the rainbow, but because every basketball fan's favorite word, I should say, overtime indeed, unless you're an Alba Berlin or Unicaja fan. Well, it's the second matchup between these two teams. They met last week in Game 1, in which Unicaja narrowly won by 3 at home. It's the only other time I can think of when a championship BCL team won 2 close quarterfinal games back-to-back was La Laguna Tenerife against Tofaş Bursa back in 2022 when they won both games 1 and 2 at home and on the road by 1 point each. But Unicaja, to assume they're going to be BCL champions for a three-peat, it's going to be a tough one indeed, as Ritas Vilnius have already booked their tickets. Asisa Juventud, along with Galatasaray, pushing their games to a 3-game series against both AEK and La Laguna Tenerife. While Alba Berlin trying to do the very same. Well, fans, if you love watching the atmosphere here in Berlin, go to the Basketball Champions League YouTube page after the game and watch the return of Humans of the BCL, a wonderful series that explores and goes deep into the culture and fans, or the fan culture of all clubs. And most recently, the new episode is on Alba Berlin. Well, he's a great talent. And as I already said, one day, he's going to be knocking on the door to challenge Dennis Schroeder as the #1 player for Germany. Welcome back. Overtime is upon us. We are in the 5 minutes in this overtime, and the urban legend says the team who scores first in OT usually goes to win, as Kylian Tilly gets the 10th three-pointer of the game for Unicaja. Well, that's a big-time play by Tilly. A little bit of ghost action coming here from Alba Berlin. Well, Kyle can level things up. He's been great so far, can't get it. An offensive rebound here for Alba. 10 on the shot clock. Kyle got to figure out something here. Now looking to attack. Well, has to go for a tough, low percentage play, but, well, the fadeaway, no problem. Now putting his hand in, it goes out of bounds. That's going to go back to Unicaja. Still leading by 1. 22 points this evening for Jack Kyle. It's tough to see from that angle, but I think that's a correct decision if you ask me. But look at this. That's crunch. That's clutch. Justin Cobb's back in the lineup here in OT. Well, good interception, good reverse on the defense. Can Alba reclaim the lead? Well, they're going to throw it away. KP comes up with it. KP will go, throw it down, and extend it back to a 3-point lead. Kyle tries to go quickly. This 3 will level things up. It's up. It just hasn't been the same. The turnover from Wood. Just when Alba was about to take charge of this one. The same story of turning the ball over, which then gets converted into fast break points from Unicaja, and a rejection from behind. Silanatovic just took a little bit too long to get that one off. Alba again putting things in the hands of Jack Kyle's got 22. There's another step back, a deep 3. Jetovic coming up with it. Jetovic bombs, goes in, finishes. And now it's a 2-possession lead to Unicaja. Timeout is going to be called by Pedro Calles. Alba Berlin just too reliant at the moment on young Jack Kyle. Let's go listen now to the timeout to hear what Coach Pedro Calles has to say.
Justin and with the one, okay? And we are in
Well, that was the missed attempt, the block coming from behind it. You heard that from Coach Pedro Calles. They're switching everything on defense, and we cannot just rely on the one-on-one offense from Jack Kyle. Because that was the play there in which Alba could have taken the lead. But the turnover that quickly led to the transition bucket from Kendrick Perry. Under 3 minutes to go here in OT. Kyle got it by Albert Levias. Nice passing as a pump fake. Good look from the perimeter. Three is up. Juwan Roberts, big offensive rebound. Got to go back up with it, but he misses it from point blank. It looks like a foul's going to be called, so this will send Unicaja straight to the free throw line. The foul is on Justin Bean, I believe. So Kylian Tilly can indeed extend this to a 7-point lead for Unicaja. 7 points he has this evening. It's his first trip to the free throw line. No problem. Makes them both. Because you got to ask the question, Martin Hermanson only just checking back into the game here in OT. Roberts trying to go for a post-up. Kyle goes to his left. Got to make this one. Surely three is up. In and out. Doesn't get it. And a foul is going to be called. So Juwan Roberts now will go to the free throw line here for Alba Berlin. Roberts has done a great job there, just putting his body on the line. And he made his last 2 free throws when they cut it down to a 2-possession ball game in regulation. Remember, just over 60% this season from the free throw line. 1 rebound away from a double-double tonight. No problem this time. Second one, no good. Still this time with over 2 minutes. Unicaja have possession, but they lead by 6. As they would have felt leading by 14 in the fourth quarter, they should have wrapped things up. Neither team has any fouls. Final seconds now for KP. Tilly pump fakes. Gotta think about taking something, find separation. But again, the same story, the offensive rebounding tonight here for Unicaja. It truly has been magnificent. 13 offensive boards. And the tip-in is good. And now it's an 8-point lead. Sparing moments now. Justin Bean finds him downtown. And now it's back to a 2-possession deficit. Alba Berlin refuse to throw the towel in. It's a quiet game tonight from Justin Bean, but that's a crucial 3-pointer. Now he has 8 points. They don't want to foul here. Final seconds. Perry finds Diaz, goes for the deep 3, and Bean comes up with a rebound. Now we're under a minute. Kyle does well to keep this one under control. Bean attacks the gap, still has it, goes in, no foul given. Well, the home crowd waited. Unicaja will patiently take their time as a foul is going to be called against Jack Kyle. Let's have a look here. That's a 3-pointer by Justin Bean. That cut it down to 5. That was the tip-in by on the play prior to the 3-pointer. So 39.8 left. Kanjetovic extended back to a 7-point lead. Oh, he missed a free throw. This is one of Jedovic's better offensive games tonight. He's got 16 points. He's 3 out of 4 from the charity stripe. Six-point Unicaja lead. Alba's got to go quickly here. I would imagine they might want to go for a three-pointer. Kyle looks to attack. Nowhere to go. Beam pump fakes. Mon Hermanson goes for a deep high arcing three, and that might just do it. Foul has been committed, so trip to the free throw line again here for James Webb. Maybe the fatigue factor truly had settled in by then. It all comes down to that one possession when Alba could have taken the lead down by 1, but they threw it away, and Kendrick Perry came up with the steal, which put it back to a 3-point deficit. There's James Webb, 7 points this evening. No problem on his first trip to the charity stripe. Well, this is what championship DNA is made for. To ride the storms, to battle the adversity. But no matter how you do it, to come up with the victory. Second one good, 8-point lead. You can see Bon Navarro telling his players don't foul. Oh, it's been an exciting season. A deep three-pointer coming from Jack Kyle. A little bit of pressure coming. KP keeps it alive. Oh, he turned it over. Kyle goes in. That's another three. Oh, it does. Almost got the +1. So 3 free throws coming up here. And this is interesting. Because if O'Connell can make 2 of them, the first 2, and try to deliberately miss the third one, wow. They could actually try to get 1 final 3-point attempt. I don't know how much you're into probabilities, but anything is possible at this stage. But he's got to make these first 2 for this to be hypothetically possible. And he's had his struggles from the free throw line this evening. Alex O'Connell's only 1 out of 4 from the charity stripe. The former Duke Blue Devil. First one good. Has to make this one. If he doesn't make this one, then it's definitely over. Just gets it now. Here's the one he's got to miss. They've got to try to tip it out to the perimeter, and they've got to throw a prayer to send this into double OT. Both Jack Kyle and Mon Hermanson on the perimeter. Well, I don't think he got it off in time, and there you have it. The 2-time defending champions Unicaja on their way to their 4th consecutive Final Four of the Basketball Champions League. They win in overtime, 88-85, and just like Laguna Tenerife did against Tofaş Bursa in 2022, they've beaten Alba Berlin by the same margin as they did in Game 1. Well, could that be a sign of destiny from another Spanish ACB team? But could it be another walking step here for a team destined in their minds to become the first ever team to make a three-peat in the Basketball Champions League? Well, it was a spirited fight, of course, from Pedro Calles' players. A true honor and excitement to have Alba Berlin a part of the BCL this season. They've been exciting. The Alba Berlin fans have been magnificent. They've truly embodied and personified the meaning of the BCL. Well, in the case of Unicaja, it's 2 more wins for that three-peat. For Alba Berlin, well, they'll have to look forward now to the easy credit Bundesliga, the domestic scene of professional basketball in Germany. It's a great, magnificent team, there's no doubt about it. But history currently still in the writings here for Unicaja. A team who joined the BCL in 2021, failing in their first quarterfinals against Baxi Manresa. And then in 2023 it was, well, they defeated UCAM Murcia in the quarterfinals, only to lose to Telekom Basketball in the semis. But then came along 2024. That time, getting to the quarterfinals after beating, getting to the Final Four after beating Prometheus and bringing home the championship in Belgrade, Serbia. And they did it again last season. Well, there are your stats in the game. The 10 3-point field goals really coming into life in the third quarter, starting with Chris Duarte and then Kendrick Perry. The 25 free throws, and you got to look at that. 9 missed free throws tonight from Alba Berlin. That could have been a monumental difference. Well, both teams getting the fair share of rebounds. Alba Berlin 6 more assists for that matter. Unicaja 3 more steals. But championship DNA persists. It prevails. It doesn't matter how it's done. As long as you get the dub, if you get back to the Final Four, that's all that counts for Unicaja. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the key highlights, but Jack Kyle, another very important performance. Had he not stepped it up, well, Alba couldn't have had a chance in the end. The young man has been a true sensation this season for Alba Berlin. And we look forward to hopefully seeing Alba Berlin next season. Because they understand now, though, they're a member of the BCL. It's a merit. It's earned, not given. And we've seen great basketball this season from Alba Berlin. Well, this is what you got to love about the German basketball culture. Even though they lost, the atmosphere is incredible. Well, that was the alley-oop from Mon Hermanson, finding Norris Bakoko. A truly magnificent game, to say the least. Didn't see Mon Hermanson too much in the second half, but nonetheless, it was a very great game to watch. Well, a lot of things definitely went in favor of Unicaja, but you got to credit the tenacity, the never-say-die attitude from this Alba Berlin team. They kept on battling. They fought right to the very end, and they nearly came close. Job not done yet for Unicaja. They're going to Badalona. It's going to be 2 more wins, and they'll be waiting to find out who they'll play against. Will it be Assisa Juventud or will it be Ike Athens? To which that would also be a very exciting matchup in the semifinals. Well, the Alba flag of Albatross will still fly high no matter what. Some crucial 3-point shooting from Kendrick Perry. Here was Bakoko. That time inside the paint just coming to life here in the second half. Well, they wanted a review on that one, but that was on a foul call. So unfortunately, those can't be reviewed by a coach's review. But here was Chris Duarte inside the paint, looking dominant and unstoppable as always. Well, he knows he had a good team to work with this season. There's a lot to move on. And here was the part where Alba kind of started to make that comeback. Because they came so close time and time again from just taking over and taking the lead. But Jack Kyle, here was a 3-pointer that cut it down to a 2-point deficit. And that was a negative parabola of a high-octane 3. Well, fans, there you have it. The 2-time defending champions, like Ritas Vilnius, have booked their tickets to the Final Four, only to wait and find out next week when both Assisa Juventud and Ike Athens return to Athens for Game 3, who they'll face. Malaga and Tenerife will host Galatasaray for the final time this season in Game 3. as the winner will take on Rytas Vilnius in the 2026 Basketball Champions League Final Four, powered by Amoresco Sudel. It has been a magnificent season, but it's not over yet here in the quarterfinals. Still games to come. Well, at this point, fans, we do thank you for joining us. Alba Berlin have had a terrific season right from the get-go when they lost at home against Alain Chalon. And we will probably see them back next season. But for now, it's good night, goodbye, and God bless from the Basketball Champions League.